Missing in action?
What?
I haven't seen you in a while.
I know.
Okay. I know you know. Let's go. Where's your buddy at? Where's your buddy at? Oh, did you?
Yeah. I don't see it. What?
Because he wasn't paying you for having you run around?
Yeah, no, he never said that. That wasn't the problem. That wasn't the problem.
No.
It's fine. She's not back to work yet, but she's very close.
I got something tomorrow after the meeting.
What meeting?
Tomorrow?
Huh?
Pitching.
Oh. What time?
He's at 3.
Can I
Fire's at 3.
I don't know if I'll.
Well, I'll bring the thing. So I can bike by.
All right.
Okay.
They get in the
Can I
auditorium?
see it?
It's supposed to be, yeah. I think that's why they postponed it a week, so they could get it done.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that one of those dinner plate dahlias? Yeah. They're beautiful. That's pretty. Was it white or creamy? Oh, goodness. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty. Judy.
Crowd ain't getting no bigger.
Huh?
Crowd ain't getting no bigger. So the crowd ain't getting
Oh.
no bigger.
Yeah.
I got it.
don't understand what it is.
Okay, we're going to get started. This must be Empire and competing with the company. Okay, well, before I get started, on a lighter note, I do have to ask this question.
Yes.
Well, who are the Cub fans in here? I know one. That's it? Everyone else, I guess, is a Sox fan, correct?
Yeah.
I see. The reason why I'm saying that, I appreciate you guys coming out and to the meeting, because you could have been watching the demise, but I understand that. Like I said on the lighter note, I know.
You don't want to vote in 2017.
Yes, I do, but right now I just trying to. Me and Judy already talked. I didn't see that. I don't think I want to see that, but we talked already. So, but that's what I wanted to say about the Cubs. You know. But anyway.
See what happens?
But anyway, I'm prepared. I'm Boy Scout. I want to start this particular time. I want to do have a different change of venue. There were some things that were discussed early part of this week and yesterday, and I just want to go over some factual things, and also I wanted to go over, if you guys have any Q&As about what happened, because we devoted a whole meeting to this yesterday, and we could have used this time for something more productive than what we did. But it was that I wasn't in charge. But I'm going to go down the list of some things that were, it was pretty well talked about. But the first thing I want to let everyone know is the village sign that's as you come into the village, right there by the used car lot. If you notice, town hall meeting was not publicized. And that was done by the mayor giving direction to the village administrator, who also gave direction to the public works supervisor. Because I asked him what happened. I must be doing something right. You guys must be talking out there or whatever. Things must be happening, because for them to try to stop people to come out and express their opinion, that's not how you go about doing it. That doesn't make sense. Why would you not want to have someone come out so you can rebuke or whatever, but to not even put it up? Because I asked, and they felt that what was up there was more important, even though it was a week away, they felt it was more important. So I just like to thank the ones that came out, that knew that we still have our meeting on the third Wednesday of the month at 7 o'clock. I appreciate your loyalty. Now, the immediate checks. Did everybody understand, or does everybody understand what an immediate check is and why you have to have immediate checks? Is anybody in the dark about that? Okay. Is anyone else in the dark about why you need immediate checks? Okay. The reason for immediate checks should be one reason only. You would write that check if it's an emergency that will cause harm, or for a better word, a demise to the village, and you don't have proper time to inform your council that you need to spend this kind of money and have that check written. That's what the immediate check is for. Or number two, which is most times what it should happen, is you didn't have money at the time to pay that bill, but that bill came due. As soon as you got your money from the village, as soon as you got your money from the village, that you were able to pay that check. And that's usually how immediate check happens. But in any case, and I'm gonna quote this almighty Illinois Municipal League that the mayor used at his Meet the Mayor, and also it was used yesterday as a presentation, but they forgot, or they omitted, to put in there, to bring it to the people, what you can and cannot do. And the question was, can a mayor enter into contracts or sign checks without board authority? Now, he had about, if you was at the meeting last night, it was 59, okay, I'm sorry, I thought it was 60. It is 60, exactly. There were 60 things that were brought up from the conference that we went down to that were authored. Yeah, I can't talk right now. By Ansel and Glick, which is one of the largest law firm in the state of Illinois. And that question came up, and the answer is no. Absent either specific or generic authorization by a city council or village board, the mayor or president has no authority whatsoever to expend any public funds. The municipality can sue for return of the money improperly expended. Why do we go through that? Why do we want to go through that? I mean, it's going to cost some money to do that, but the bottom line, he has no authority to even issue an immediate check without the board's approval. So when he said yesterday that he felt that, that he could do this, and last week he felt he could do this, I mean, do you want to sue the mayor? I mean, sometimes it depends on what it may be, you may have to, but he doesn't have the authority to do that. So I just wanted to kind of let everybody know the reason why I was against it, because you cannot do that. You're taking the power away of your elected officials. That's why your elected officials are there for checks and balances. And that's the reason that they're there. They may not go along, or they may go along with what the mayor states, but they have to state that they're going along with what the mayor said. Larry, can I have a meeting here? Thank you. And so that's why they do that. So I don't understand why he felt, and he went to the same stuff. He has the same stuff that we have. He had the same thing. Okay. Yes.
What did our attorney say about this?
Pardon me?
What did the village attorney say?
Okay. If you were at the meeting last week, last Tuesday, when I asked the question about immediate checks, all of a sudden there was a bathroom call.
Caught that who? A bathroom call.
Larry, let me explain.
I noticed it.
Let me, okay, we can all talk together, but if you have something to say, fine, I'll just explain it to her, and then I'll entertain your comment. But it was a bathroom call. In other words, the lawyer got up and left the room. If anyone saw that, and I'm sure that Mr. Schenkel has it on tape or whatever, I'm sure that it is on tape somewhere, that shows that he got up and walked out. And that was, you can't rule on what you don't hear. So, I mean, that's what happened, point blank. So if you come back and ask him, well, is that true? Well, let me check into it. But didn't you hear it? No, I didn't. That's plausible deniability. So, okay, Larry.
No, I noticed it right off on him getting up and walking out at that very instant, because I thought he would stand somewhat accountable, and even though it's showing different partisanship, you know, my God, are you representing part of the village? You know, because he doesn't want to talk to me, because he does represent only part of the village. And every time you see him, you should address him with that. Right, Mr. Schenkel?
Not going back and forth. But I just wanted you to, you know, things were brought up about this presentation that was down there, but everything wasn't. And quite natural, I can understand. I'm going to bring up things that pertain to me and what I'm trying to do, rather than let everybody know the whole story. Just wanted you to understand that. Now, another thing, consensus voting. He stated that he didn't want to have consensus voting anymore at no cost. In other words, I'm going to take my ball and go inside because I can't control the game. Well, consensus voting is exactly what it is. You have a consensus. Sometimes it's needed, but most times it's not. It shouldn't be needed unless we have a real emergency and we need to go into a fund that we have to use that money for a dire emergency. So it's something that we have to, that's, like I said again, that's going to cause a resident or something harm. Then yes, that makes sense. You know, I'll give you an example, payroll. I'll go all out and I'll vote to pay payroll. I was working, all you guys work. I don't want to stop anyone's check because of whatever. If the fund is somewhere else, the money somewhere else, we have it, let's use it and we get it back. Payroll is number one on my list. Everything else comes behind that. Vendors and everything else, but payroll. Remember, payroll. Not vendors, not consultants, not subcontractors. Payroll. Because people rely on that for their livelihood. Yes, Larry, we're going to do this all
I'm sorry,
right?
yeah, we're going to do this, Mr. Burgess, because point blank, I had a problem last week and I had a problem last night. The issue was consensus. You all were talking two different things, apples and oranges. Here it is, it's only between $1,000 and $5,000, and yet we're $100,000 that we're talking about. Well, you don't have a say in that. I thought that was outrageous, that he actually took that away, was saying he would. Explain that.
Okay, because I think what you stated might be wrong. There is no limit on the consensus.
If you don't have, if he took it away from you, there is no limit.
There's never been a limit on consensus.
If he takes it away from you, there is no consensus. Am I saying that?
Larry, I don't know. Because I don't want you to get everybody. I understand what you're saying, but you're saying it piecemeal. First of all,
I heard it.
okay, well, I'm not trying to argue with you. I just want to make sure that it's said the right way. A consensus is an affirmative vote of your council. In other words, you have the majority vote. You can take a consensus on anything if that's what you choose to do. He chose to not honor a consensus vote. That's what I'm trying to tell. Okay, so he chose not to honor, if say for instance we talked about, say, okay, we would like to put X, Y, and Z on the agenda for next week. He's saying he won't honor that. He's gonna control what goes on the agenda.
Where's the consensus?
That, I'm just saying, he's saying that he doesn't do that. Now, what you can do, no, I'm sorry, not you, what the trustees can do is sign a piece of paper stating they want this on the agenda and give a copy to your lawyers. The lawyer does not, I won't say make, but if he doesn't suggest to the mayor that he don't do it, then guess what you can do?
Sure.
Thank you. You can sue your lawyers or whatever you might need to take against them. But they're not going to do that. They're going to make sure, because they know what the law is. That's what you have. If your trustees don't have any input in government, why are they there? Why do we vote?
But isn't that a fact that he did state?
He said that he would not entertain any consensus voting, period. That's like telling you that you cannot talk at board meetings because I'm not going to recognize you. Really? So, I mean, and that's what he stated. Be careful what you ask for. Because now, if it's need be, if someone needs to have something paid because of it, it's going to cost some money, it's going to cost X amount more money than it is to not pay that, and someone comes in and a vendor says, okay, if you don't pay me tomorrow, I'm going to charge you $5,000 more. That's going to really be in his alley, because now what's going to happen is he is going to bring it and put it back on the board. And say the board didn't do this and it cost X amount of money. Judy.
It didn't take a rocket scientist to know what he was
Sorry.
going to do. Once the board changed, it wasn't surprising as to what he's doing. He's got 3 bobbleheads that'll vote for whatever way he wants them to, and your 2 new trustees aren't falling at his footsteps. So you got 3 and 3, and a consensus vote. Can the mayor break a vote on a consensus vote?
The mayor can break any tie.
Okay,
on
but
anything.
then that means with a consensus vote, he's got 3 bobbleheads that voted yes. He's down 1. That means he's got to contact you or one of the 2 new trustees, which he's not going to do.
No. If he has 3, he can move forward. If he calls A, B, and C and they say yes, he don't have to go to D, E, and F.
So what's his big problem then?
Because D, E, and F, I'm sorry, A, B, and C, and finally open their eyes and say this was wrong. Because when it comes down to it, when it happens, when we don't have any money or the money's been, someone comes in and lets us know that this money was spent this way or whatever, irregular, the mayor has plausible deniability because he doesn't vote the money out. So now these trustees finally figured that out, that their name and their livelihood or their whatever is on the line. He can step back and say, I didn't vote the money. They did. The reason why we don't have it, pardon me?
He's already done that.
Well, he's going to continue to do it. He doesn't vote. Now he'll vote to break a tie, then he'll be held accountable for that. But if but see, here's the thing: everyone thinks that someone is trying to control. No one is. You elected people that have. I'm hoping that the reason why you elected people, they have common sense to use that common sense for the betterment of this village, not for the betterment of themselves or someone else. We don't make it. There's no money in this. There's no money in this. So what he's calling himself doing when he doesn't have a meeting. When he has a meeting and doesn't have it, he's called himself slapping the trustees' hands. Fine. That little money that we don't get, that's not a problem. However, he still gets his. And the clerk gets theirs. We have 1 meeting a year, they get their pay. So and you mean to tell me they can't see that? Or it could be something, I don't know. But that's exactly what's happening. That's why he said that he has abbreviated the amount of meetings because it's a cost-saving initiative, really.
He doesn't know what that word means.
But now, I'm going to go back again. If it was a cost-saving initiative, then if you looked at that immediate checks, there were some checks in that they could have waited. We have vendors right now. We have the law firm that we owe from April until present. They're that far behind.
We could have waited for a new administrator and a new police chief too.
Well, believe it or not, if you have, and I'm not gonna go too much into politics one-on-one tonight, but this is the truth. If you have the board on your side as the mayor, I don't need the rest of it. I have what I want. That's any mayor, not just Sauk, any mayor. If they have the board on their side, they can do what they want. And how are you going to get them out of there? Next time they vote. In the meantime, they end up, because by the time you go through all this and everything, and the money's going to come, who's going to pay that money? So that's what it is.
The meeting that you went to downtown, and everybody went to it, what did they say you could do about the checks being written the way they are?
Just what I just got through stating, that we can take action.
This is going to impact my tax dollar. What do I do?
The municipality can sue for return of the money improperly expended. You can sue.
After the fact.
But now, yes, after the fact, the checks, you can go back and tell the bank that those checks that those people spent, because guess what? Guess what they were written on? They were written and signed by the village authority.
Who signed them?
Now that part, various people, because I saw them, it wasn't the same people, it was various people. So, you know, but whoever gave the go ahead to do that, that's the one I'm looking at. I don't care if the mayor told you to jump out that window. I'm gonna make sure that you're okay. How many people are gonna do that? I know I'm not gonna do it. I don't even care if I see that it's only 3 feet. You may be somebody that I may say, whatever. But I'm not gonna jeopardize my standing, jeopardize my credibility in doing something that I know is wrong. Yes? Does anybody else have any questions?
Only because I was here last night and the week before, and the meeting went so well, and yet what wasn't acknowledged was the taking over of the town hall meeting, the board. Here it is we had. First I like a threefold question. What do you think about an oversight finance committee, which I understand you were on and removed? Mr. Trustee Tate declined to be on it, and the mayor doesn't care because all he wants is to get it to where the finance director, who's supposed to be over all of this, yes, now you can answer me when I stop. He's supposed to be able to have it to where he does the checks and balances. But now we have to have a finance director, a finance committee to supersede him, to protect him, because he's working with a pen and not a pencil. Because he needs an eraser on it. You know, and I tell him this all the time. See, but the other week, you exposed him. He doesn't want to take the fault now, I understand that. So now the finance committee that you and Trustee Tate would have been assigned to have stepped back. The mayor was hoping for that, in my opinion.
Okay, now, I'm just gonna go into this briefly because me, and as long as I've been on this board, don't see a need for a finance committee. You have a finance director, you have a village administrator, you have the board, and you have the mayor. How many more people do you want to be involved in? If they're doing their job, you don't need a finance committee to do what? I mean, because, just a second, because why would you need 4 people to okay 1 check? I mean, if you have people that's in there, you have a finance director who brings the checks to you, have a payroll clerk who gets all the mail, and they put certain things into the finance director. The finance director lets you know how much money you have, in which accounts, and what needs to be paid. They bring that to, since you got a village administrator, they bring that to the administrator and tell them those same things. The administrator calls the mayor and said, okay, we got $50,000, but we got $100,000 worth of bills. What do you want to do? And if he tells them pay the ones that are oldest first, if you remember when David first became mayor, I'm gonna pay all the old bills. We still got bills for 2013, this is 15. but I'm gonna pay the old bills first. Okay, so now, what happens if one of those bills needs to be paid right away? That's what the that's what the finance director is supposed to be on top of, to let the administrator know. We got too many layers of government to just for the money. You know why that's that way? Does anybody know why?
Cover up.
Well, you call it cover up. I still call it plausible deniability. I didn't know.
Guess what? The finance director is responsible. He got tired of sitting.
But the finance director cannot act on his own. All he does is inform his boss.
And you put his boss on the spot.
Everything before it's written is supposed to come before the board. I don't care if it's a small, that's what we were talking about. But we're not going, does anybody else have any other questions in regards to that? Okay. I just hope everybody understands that the job of the finances is supposed to be overseen by the trustees. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but the trustees, during the meeting, they approve what has already been spent.
No. Immediate checks has already been spent. That's the only money that has been spent, and sometimes payroll, because it may fall on a day that we may meet on Tuesday and they're supposed to get paid Monday or that last Friday. So payroll is usually something that's automatically done unless it was a discrepancy or someone did 1,000 hours overtime or whatever, and the money is really out of whack. In other words, there's more money than we ever spent before. That would cause a question. But outside of that, accounts payable is what you vote on. Everything that we see on that accounts payable, you're looking at it, you vote on it. Once you say aye, it's paid.
So it's not been paid up until.
Not until it's been voted on by the board.
Right.
Not by the mayor. Immediate checks are written, and they're not supposed to be written unless they have consensus, but now he's going to take that out. But like I stated before, there's a reason for some, but not for all, not for that many. Not for that many.
How many?
Thank you, dear.
Okay. Does anybody have any other things pertaining to that? It was 16 checks written. Total $105,000.
What length of time are you talking to?
We had a meeting Tuesday. We found out about the immediate checks. I found out about it Saturday because that's when I came to pick up my stuff. I don't know. I'm sure when you have an immediate check means that it's already been signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yes.
When that happened between Tuesday and that time, no one called. I asked the board. None of the trustees said they got a call from the mayor to ask them, is it okay to pay this? That was stated at the meeting and everything. That was not, and I polled the trustees at the meeting, not this one that was yesterday, but at last week, and not one person said they even heard from the mayor about that.
All 6 of them didn't hear?
All of them, none of them stated that. So, I mean, that's really, really bold, but, so, yeah. Okay. Yes, sir.
Wasn't there a similar incident that happened back in 2012? That there were checks that were issued, there were employees that were reprimanded. And wasn't David one of the individuals that was, upset about this and was the main objector?
Okay, you want me to go on? I'll go into that. That's what you want me to do.
Isn't that the same thing?
What happened in 2011, there was a check written for, at that time, the police chief. We didn't, first of all, ratify him being police chief. So therefore, the mayor does have the authority to appoint a police chief every 30 days. We had not came up with a salary yet. He can appoint a person, but we have to okay a salary as a board. There is a minimum, and quite naturally, there's always a maximum. but we didn't take a vote on it. So he hired this person without the approval of the board, which he can. Then he said, I'm gonna pay him. He said, you cannot, we haven't talked about a salary. And we told that at that time, the people that were involved in writing the checks not to pay anyone until we actually have a chance to talk about it, ratify it, vote on it, and pass it. Obviously, he felt that he could do that same thing. He paid the police chief. He told the village manager at the time to cut a check for the police chief. Now, we came back as a board, yes, David was a trustee at the time, and we stated that the very next time this happens, we're going to take action. That's what I was talking about yesterday. That we need to take action because you're going to not do with the board. What's the reason for it? I understand that you're trying to protect your job, but you don't work just for the mayor. If you're a person that works in the village, you work for the board who was elected by the people. And it happened again, so that those people involved were given time off without pay. And that's just one time. Another time the media check came up, it was about, and it was a real, what do you call it, fiasco. Everyone thought that we didn't care about paying these people to cut grass and everything. It was not about paying someone to cut grass, it was about doing the right thing. You don't put something on the agenda or for accounts payable and no explanation and cut a check without letting the board know. We talked about that. So this is a pattern. So this is why I asked for something to be at least put in writing so this doesn't continue to happen. So that's the reason why. It's not the first time nor the second time. Since I've been trustee, the last two administrations it's happened. This is the second time in this administration, and it was 2 times in the prior administration that they spent money that was never voted on by the board. Larry?
Only because I was a part of that. I was with the
A
housing.
lot of these people here knew about that.
I was on the housing committee. A check was cut for the housing committee, $75,000. Now, from what I understand, they ran out of money for cutting.
The grass cutting wasn't 75,000.
How much was it?
The check they wrote was 7,500.
Yeah, but guess
But
what?
they had a grant for 75,000. But the problem that I had with the grant was a contingent grant. In other words, we paid the 75,000 and get reimbursed once things are done. That's how that grant went.
I sat on that housing committee. I didn't even know the check was cut. I didn't know we had the money. Checks were being wrote. I'm in one room. Checks are being cut in another room for the guys cutting grass. And one person got $2,600.
Okay. But
You know, people were saying Larry stole money because the money was being spent. Some of the grass cutters, yes, I know Mr. James Hardy, didn't get paid all the money they were due. And yet all this money was allocated and the program was shut down immediately. They said all the money was returned back to the general fund. I've never seen anybody say line item on this or anything. But you know, I go on face value like my board of trustees do.
okay, now, and I just want you to, and everyone here to understand that we've had opportunities to get grant money from the government, from the state. I don't know if anyone remembers, but the program that I was in charge of at the time for Parks and Recs was the summer camp program. Does anyone remember that? No one remembers that? Okay. That money came from Jesse Jackson Jr., Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr. He gave the village $68,000 to run a summer camp program. The requirements were that the people that ran it had to be certified, and it had to be in a place that was was able to be controlled. So I put my thinking cap on and thought about it. I said, okay, we got this money. I didn't, to tell you the truth, I didn't know we had 68,000. I just was told that we had some money to start a program. And we took the younger kids in the morning, and we took the older kids in the afternoon, and then we had 4 outings. To the water park, to, believe it or not, we went to Great America, and we went bowling, and then we had a pizza party. Those were the 4 activities that we did. And what I did is I used the teachers. I paid them a wage over the summer. It was a 10-week program. And the teachers were there all day, and I paid them, but now I didn't have to worry about certification. Those are teachers. I had it at the school, control building. And I had a person that was in charge, which was a counselor from the school. All the thing I did was when they had a problem with one of these students, they called me and I told them, use your best judgment because you guys are there. And if you need me to talk to the parents while you're throwing this child out of the program, I will do that. But outside of that, they ran it, had no problem. The money was fine for those 3 years. The 4th year, we still had money. Now, the first year, I think I only had 50 kids, but I didn't know how much money we needed. I mean, how much money we had. I thought, we only had a limited amount. When I found out about it, I put 60 kids at no cost to the parents of the child. Everything was free. Now, unless you wanted to go to Great America with your child, yes, you had to pay for your ticket. But the water park and everything was free. When I was taken off of that program, we had a carnival and something else out here, and it was paid for with that money. And it was not supposed to be. They claimed it was a back-to-school event, so that's why I felt that it would qualify to use that money. Well, when powers to be found out about it, no more grants. That money was gone. Matter of fact, there was quite a bit of money for that last year. I think I left about $35,000 in there, and it was spent for that one time.
Wow.
So, you have to be careful. No one took the money, but it wasn't spent properly where we could go back and get more money, because the first thing we did when you asked for the money was you didn't spend it by our rules and regulations. When you have grant money, they stipulate exactly what it's for. If you deviate from that, you finish that, you don't get any more. Yes, sir.
And as a segue to what you just said, following that, didn't the village lose CDBG money for that year, that next year?
CDBG money is a little different. This was a grant that Jesse himself wrote off. CDBG is Community Block Grant Development.
But they were excluded from the grant program for that next year.
Not from CDBG goes by income.
Right, but that money for that next year was not allocated.
It may have been because they didn't have any money, but it's not
No,
because.
they didn't give an explanation.
Well, I mean, the CDB shouldn't have anything to do with the money that we got from Jesse. It shouldn't have anything to do with that, because the money we got from Jesse is just like the money we got from him when we did that park out there, the industrial park.
Right, but typically when there's improprieties with grant.
Well, I mean, it's not going to help any. I'm not going to advocate for you and you spent the money on this, and you're going to come back and ask. It's not going to help.
So,
but they're not related.
My follow-up on that is, didn't the village not get their CDBG allocation for this year?
Yeah, no, nobody did. Nobody. The government is holding back all money.
That's a federal pass-through.
Well, but you gotta understand.
They don't have control over it.
Does everyone know what CDBG money is? What is it? What is it about? Does everyone know that?
No, I say it.
Okay, with CDBG money, and I'm glad you said that, because Deer Creek will never get $1 of CDBG grant money. Did you hear what I said? Deer Creek will never get $1 of CDBG grant money. It's government. It's income related. You have to have a certain income within, I would say, the boundaries. That's why you see places that have CDBG money or get CDBG money, they qualify for it. The income level at that particular area is lower. And so therefore, they gave them, that's what it's for. However, and this is what I say each and every year, each one of you guys here that own a home, especially the elderly that's on a fixed income, qualify for CDBG money. And you don't have to go to the village. You qualify for it because you're on a fixed income, and especially those that, the ones that really qualify, the ones that have that tax exempt freeze, the tax freeze, because you can only make so much money. Yes, you qualify CDBG grant money to fix your roof, your gutters, and your HVAC.
Didn't Sauk Village have that at one time?
Sauk Village had what?
To where they were allocating money.
Sauk Village used to.
Yeah.
You used to be able to go to Sauk Village and apply.
Through the village.
I said you used to be able to go through Sauk Village and apply, but that was taken away.
Why?
Allegedly, and this is what I'll say, allegedly the money was not handled properly. And there were people that were involved in it that was questionable, and the money was used other than what it's supposed to be used for. That's why I say now, anyone here that has a home that's on a fixed income or they fit into that criteria can apply for CDBG. Has nothing to do with the village. The money that we get from CDBG goes for the streets in certain areas, but that should not be just those areas are going to get their streets fixed, because you have another fund that you pull out of, which is bigger and better than CDBG, and that's MFT. Does anyone know what MFT is? Motor fuel tax. Every time you buy gasoline, it pays for your streets. Or you get money, we get money from MFT every quarter. Money comes in there better than the tax money. It's not as much, but money comes in there. That's what you do. That's what you take that money to do reconstruction. But it's always every year, let's fix these streets with CDBG money, and whatever we need left, we'll take it from MFT. That's fine. If CDBG money went to pay for fixing Painter Street, that's great. And you need maybe $100,000 from MFT, fine. But what about the areas that did not qualify for CDBG money? What are you going to wait for them to do? Qualify? That means you're going to wait for that area to lower his income and have nothing there. Then you throw them a bone. By that time, you have a pothole where your car goes in and doesn't come back out. So therefore, but that's not how you do that. That's why I wanted to have a program, 50-50 program, for sidewalks. There's some people here that would give the village or spend the village to keep their house up. Everyone here that bought a house wants to keep it up, and the village doesn't have the money to do everything, but give me $20,000, put it into a 50-50 program for the street, for the sidewalks, and I apply for it. Once that money goes, it's gone. Next year I have to get there a little earlier to try to apply for it. But in the meantime, I get my 5 squares, or some homes that have 6 squares, repaired at a lighter cost. I think a square, to do a square, everyone knows what I'm talking about, a square in front of their house, concrete, probably costs total maybe $300, or maybe a little bit less if you get it done in bulk. That means you only pay half. So if you got 5 squares, that's $1,500, you pay $750, and that's it. And that's what the money's there for. That's what I would like to see happen. It shows something that always is not always I'm targeting certain areas. Because there's certain areas that people that pay a lot of tax, they want to keep their area up. We can't get to everything. Because there's something that's always worse than where you're looking at. And I believe me, I walk this town. There's a lot of areas that need to be done, but then there's some that supersede those two. So, yes, Ms. Clark.
Why are our streets so poorly maintained if we get the MFT money every single year? They're terrible.
That question is,
all over.
that's, and this is my opinion, but usually, like I said, I've been doing this for a while, and I'm just everybody knows I'm a frank person. Whoever makes the most noise gets what? Gets the most oil. Who squeaks the loudest. I'm just telling you the reason. If I have enough people out here that says, hey, I need you to fix such and such and keep coming, it's gonna get fixed.
Well, it shouldn't.
But I see you in all these every week.
It shouldn't matter that we have.
That's, you're absolutely right.
If you drive east on 221st, you have to go.
Yes, I do. Yes, I've been there. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, they see it. Don't think they don't. I'm sure Public Works sees it. But they have to follow orders from.
The trustees who.
No.
Yeah, 221st.
It was already written, it was already stated that the mayor wants the department heads not to listen to the trustees about anything. If the trustees want someone to do something, they're supposed to come to him or the village manager to say that those potholes need to be addressed in a lot of citizens. We used to go to the department and say, can you put that on the list because they've been talking about it, because we're out there in the street. Now it's a little different now. He sent a directive, it's on my desk, that states that any requests coming from the trustees go to the village manager, not to the department head.
Okay, the reason we have poor streets now, in your opinion, would that be because we have a lack of funding, or because, one of the two, or because we have a lack of manpower? Or is there another?
Manpower is relevant. I mean, if I have two people, I can get something done. You know, I mean, that's not the reason. The reason why the streets, first of all, the reason why the streets they are because they haven't been touched in, what is it, 1957? But something hasn't been done. Sooner or later, you keep going hot, cold, that asphalt's gonna bust. Then you're gonna put salt down there and get in between that little hole. And then as soon as that melts, it's gonna bust again, it's gonna freeze. It's gonna come up, that's what happens.
You just told me the cause, you didn't tell me your opinion of which is the reason.
The reason, like I stated before, it's because of priorities. I'll put it that way. That's why certain things are done priorities.
Low priority.
Priorities, I mean, by the priority, maybe right now is the one, like I stated before, the ones that come in here and ask for this, and this. I'm just gonna say this and I'm gonna be done with that part of it. Go around homes that you see that come in here and ask questions and do this and do that, drive around their house, see if that's fixed. Just drive around and see that they're the ones that you see that come in all the time and say, well, you know, can you fix this, can you fix this, can you fix this? Yes. Just ride around and look. Because I do remember 217th, I think it's 217th place, just east of Jeffrey. Looked like a war zone. Those people came out, I even talked about it. Now it's done. Brand new street. They don't qualify for CDBG money. Yes, ma'am.
We had our streets, the potholes filled Monday. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? Nobody complained, nobody said anything, our streets were filled.
There's a crew, that's another thing. There's a crew that goes out and they do that. You know, they go out and they do that, but a pothole fill is gonna come back up in the winter time, so they put the salt down. But it was done, and there's a crew. They maybe haven't gotten to certain streets yet, but there is a crew that goes out. Public Works, you know, they get their orders. But just like anything else, there's always priorities. I want to get this one done here. You know.
But we were just shocked when we looked at the.
Oh yeah. So I'm not trying to say anything against the department because they're doing what they're told to do, and if not, I mean they care. A lot of the workers that you see, Public Works and things like that, they actually care. They've been here for a while. I've talked to them. They care. But they can't sit there. Now they're scared to talk to me. That's the case. They're ain't religion monopolized this meeting.
I'm not. It's just that I've been here a long time and I've seen the changes. And one of the big changes is town hall meeting. It's a plus because at regular meetings, people don't get to say what they want with a question and an answer. Now we get the question and answer. I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a minute. We've got it to where people that know what's happening in City Hall, are we all in agreement that the board is divided?
Yes.
That was the question, Mr. Burke.
I'm on the board. You can't ask me. I mean, I already know the board is, I mean, that's a no-brainer.
See, and I'm not monopolizing. These are honest
But
questions.
I mean, but
People need to know.
that's a no-brainer. I mean, the people that, except for maybe a few, most people that come out are in the know, and I'm just hoping that they let more people know what's going
This is why
on.
I'm asking the question, because they need to know. They need to know why. And I'm playing devil's advocate because like we're having this meeting, you're addressing. The other side, as I would look at it, also must be having little meetings to where people are running from there against nobodies. You got people that are looking at it to where they're holding for you and will stab you in the back in a heartbeat. You got people that sit at the table and don't know what the hell they're talking about for about 30 minutes at a meeting. And I'm looking at, well, wait a minute. What is the other side thinking of all this? And I saw that last night.
Well, let me explain something to you, and this is what I want to make very, very clear. The election is in 2017. I'm not a congressman who has to run every 2 years. Congressmen run every 2 years. If you have a person right now that's sitting in office trying to campaign, you need to think about that, because you were elected to do a job. You weren't elected to campaign to get another seat, to campaign to get another seat. You were elected to do something that you claim this is the reason why you got elected. Right now, my job is to make sure that every dollar that's spent is spent wisely, quality, and with purpose. That's my job, because at the end of the day, that's what you're going to come to me and say, why don't we have this, and how come we don't have that? Those other issues, as far as I'm doing this because of, that's not what you elected me and trustees for. You elected us to do a job. And our job, trustee, is to oversee the money. Not to come back and campaign, well, you know, when I get in, I'm going to do this. And the next 2 years from now, I'm going to run. I need your support. If you do what you're supposed to do, in 2 years, you won't have to ask that question. But if you have to ask that question, hey, you know, I was in there for X amount of time, I tried to do the best I could, but they won't let me. That's a cop-out. Because that's not what you're there for. They won't let me. The people put you in there so you can do something. They put you in there so you will do something. I mean, because if they want a status quo, guess what? You wouldn't be in there. So it shouldn't be about election. It should be about what you're going to do to make things happen, to make my house appraised more, to lower my taxes, to bring businesses in here, so I don't have to go in Indiana or 15 miles away somewhere to buy some groceries. I mean, that's what you're there for. You're the village representatives as trustees and elected officials. That's why I have to do all that. I need you. What do I need you for? Why do I need you as a trustee in this village if I have to go out and do everything myself? That's what you're there for. Not saying that you got to go out there. I'm a trustee, so I'm entitled to this, and I'm a trustee, and give me 50 wings, or I need a break on the wings, or can you give me this, and I'll be. That's not what it's for. You should be patronizing, and if you're not patronizing the business, find out what's wrong and go in there and talk to them about it. Because if you see it, the rest of these citizens see that. The rest of the citizens see that. Yes, Mr. Shank, I see you got the microphone.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious as to how long have you been a trustee? I mean, when did you start becoming a trustee?
2006.
So you got yourself 9 years invested in the village.
No, I have 33 years invested in the village.
Well, as far as being a trustee, that's what I wanted to know.
Okay.
Thank you.
That was it? I could have told you that easy. Yes, I've been out here 33 years, raised
How long have you been a trustee? How long have you been a trustee?
1, 2, 3 kids out here, raised, pardon me?
The question was, how long you been a trustee?
I just said that. You didn't hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just saying, since, I've been out here 33 years, I've been involved in this village for maybe 32 years, because I was involved in St. James Church, I was involved in the Boy Scouts, I was involved in the neighborhood, so I've been involved, but I'm not trying to toot my own horn. What I want to do is, I spend tax money out here, just like each and every one of these homeowners, and not only just homeowners, people that do business out here in the village, they want a quality product. And that's what you're here for. That's what you're there for. At the end of the day, they're going to hold you accountable to, why don't we have any business? Well, the mayor said, why can't the taxes happen? The mayor, no, you can't. The mayor got to run, you run it. You're the one I put in there. I didn't put him, I put you in there. I want to know why. And that's what we're supposed to be doing, is trying to make a difference here in the village. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Burgess, I just want to say that you're doing a great job. You're the only one I see up there asking questions. Last week with the budget, all those immediate checks that were paid. I work for an accounting firm. There's no need for that. I worked in budgets. Somebody's doing something wrong. But I just wanted to say that you're doing a good job by asking all those questions. And the fact that Rosie was reading all those things last night about going back and forth and stuff like that, I see the mayor doing that, so I hope, since a lot of that was no, that maybe he'll shut up, because people seem to ask him questions, or some of the trustees. He doesn't seem to understand the question, yet he puts a lot of the trustees down, which I don't appreciate. Badmouths them, which is very rude. He has no place being a mayor. That's my opinion.
Mr. Burgess, I got one more thing. I'm sorry, I've been out here 30 years.
Can I, before you say something, before you say something, can I address what she stated? Okay. The reason why, and I just want you to know, the reason why that he make anything else, we're all adults here. What do most people do when they can't answer or don't know the answer to a question? What do? They move on, or they act like you didn't say it. And if you don't, and they just play it off. That could happen too. But that's what happened. So, I do have to tell you that the new trustees that are coming in, that are here now, getting baptism by fire. It wasn't this bad when I first became a trustee. I mean, there was a lot of things that were going on, but we basically were able to take care of the committees that we did. Now we have to go through whatever to make it happen. So it has changed, and it didn't just change overnight. It's been changing ever since 2006, because I knew what it was in 2006. Mr. Shane.
Yeah, a couple of meetings, last meeting I believe it was, you mentioned that you have talked to several different business owners, and 2 of those business owners are leaving town. Could you touch on that?
Okay, I did mention that 2 business owners wanted to leave town.
As to if we can help them stay, we don't even know who they are.
Okay. One of them, which I know that you do know who it is Villa Pizza. And I know you know he wants to leave. He's going to leave. Pardon me?
I don't know of any, that's why I wanted to...
No, I'm just telling you, that's one.
Okay.
He doesn't have, he says people are not patronizing his business enough that he can stay open. That's one of the reasons that he's leaving. He doesn't get the message. You notice he doesn't open on Monday, and he only opens at 4 o'clock in the evening, 4 to 10. Because he doesn't have the kind of money to keep, to stay open. And the other business is going to be Levels. You going to patronize Levels?
Levels isn't, I don't know when they're open.
Pardon me?
I don't know when they're open. They're closed most of the time.
I'm saying, but that's the other business, Levels.
Well,
I mean, you patronized Tom Tap when it was open, right?
if they got my kind of hours, but I can't go in Levels, they don't open up till 2 in the
No,
morning.
but I mean, when Levels, when Tom's Tap was open, you patronized them.
Not if you don't drink, I don't drink, so.
But you came there, you came to talk or whatever.
Pizzas, you go to Dyer, Indiana, they close at 9. Like
Okay,
Zoomies,
well,
they close at 9.
I'm just, you asked me a question, I gave you an answer.
We need to help the people.
I said that
Yes,
from
we
day one, sir.
That's what I'm asking you to do.
I said it from day one, that we should, and if the the business is not conducive or they don't have what you want, you need to go in there and tell them. You need to go in and tell them that your food or your this or whatever it is not up to the standards that I'm looking for, so that's why I'm going somewhere else.
I'm not gonna go into a nail shop and tell them, I don't like nails, I don't do my nails, you should leave. You know, that's for other people, that's why we have a difference of, town, different venues.
Oh, well, I mean,
But as far-
the nail shop is not for everybody, but they're in business.
I'm asking you as to turn around on what those businesses are, so we can try and help those businesses stay in
I
town.
just told you two of them. So that means I'm looking forward to you coming and talking to the owner of Villa Pizza and asking him what it is or what we can do, and he'll tell you the same thing I told you. And Levels is open on the weekend, because they can't afford to open on during the week, so they open on the weekend.
Well, if they can only afford that, then they should get out of business. If they can't afford to be
You
open during the
can't
week,
tell.
what do they want to do?
Obviously, you never been in business.
I can't pay my bills going to work 2 days a week. I gotta go to work all week long to pay my bills.
But you obviously never been in business. You can't stay open if you can't afford it.
If they
I
can't be
mean,
open,
they're open and they hope the clientele comes out where they can open more.
I can't go in there and patronize them on their hours. They need to be more accommodating to me. You know?
Okay. Larry?
Mr. Burgess,
Can I? Okay, because I understand. If I don't let everyone talk, which I want to, then next week next month I'll be looking at this place for price. So can I get some new people? Thank you. Yes, Ms. Dodge.
okay. I just wanted to commend you on the 9 years of service. I've only been here 40 years, and I want to commend you for that too. As far as the business is closing, I mean, are there any others besides those two? I mean, because
Right now, those are the only two that I talk to. Reason why, so it doesn't get twisted, as they say.
okay.
The reason why I know about these businesses is because at one time I was also in charge of economic development, and I used to go to all the businesses. I used to have a couple of showcases for the businesses. One right there where Fairway was at the time it was starts, and the other one that's over there where Tony's is at. And we had two showcases, and people came out and the businesses gave away, well not gave away, but they offered discount prices. So I got a rapport with them, and I still have a rapport with them, and also the industrial businesses. I hate to say it, but I went into, I won't say I hate to say it, I went to Broadway, and man was so mad at me that, you know, what you want? And I just told them, what can I do? What you can do is you can stop doing this, stop doing that. They were very pissed off at the village, and I asked them, does anyone ever know you're the first?
Okay, can I ask another question?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is being done for again, new revenue?
Okay.
That was really.
And you're right.
Since he sparked it, I wanted to go ahead.
Okay, in 2013, when I had economic development and the new administration came in, first thing they did was take me off economic development.
So who's in charge now?
Mayor.
Okay, so that answers the question.
Yeah, he's in charge of economic development.
That-
And his staff are paid people.
That's why we're bad.
We have, in other words, he has people that are on, if you ever come to a TIF meeting, that's part of his economic development meeting, everybody sitting at that table at a TIF meeting is getting paid by the village to offer suggestions.
So we're headed to.
When I had a TIF meeting, I told them, I was there, this is when Lewis Towers is the one that put me on as economic development, but when I had a TIF meeting, I said, I need you guys to come out to give me your expert opinion. Now, if you feel that you have to charge for that, then I'll find somebody else that's going to do the day-to-day stuff that you're doing. We had a engineering firm, not Robinson, we had another one. And they came out. And I never forget one meeting, he said, well, I know, you coming out, that's the least you can do. All the money you made from us, from the TIF, rather, because it was coming from the TIF, that's the least you can do for that. Come out and give us your expert opinion. Do you want to take that chance that next month when we have that meeting, you're not sitting there? That's how you have to do that.
When's the last TIF meeting
I'm serious, I don't know when the last time we had a TIF meeting. Pardon me, I know we have to have one because it has to, we have to show, because the village is the trustee for the TIF, which means we're also the we monitor the money that comes out of TIF. And you can't, you can borrow from Tiff, but believe me, that's like borrowing from, well, I'm gonna get in trouble now, borrow from your wife, you better pay it back. Because you know she ain't gonna sleep.
You know, Jared, talking about TIF and everything is great. But it comes down to more basic stuff with bringing businesses into Sauk Village. You've got a mayor that's kissing the ass of landowners or property owners and giving them what they want, like no taxes or a cut in taxes and everything, and yet they haven't seen fit to correct the lighting so that you could go there in the evening. They haven't fixed their buildings. Businesses keep moving because the landlords are slum. All 3 landlords in this town are slum. Our post office is gone. That's another business that's gone. The building has mold. The people that worked in it are sick. They will not do anything. We check to see what can we do. Is there any way we can help? Can we go to a board meeting? Can we bring it out? They don't want us to do anything. They're leaving because of the building. They've got a business right next door to them. The plumbing and everything is a mess, but they were given a right to open a business.
No more.
See what happens when you
So
go out?
it's a lot. TIF and everything is great, but you gotta come down to the basics and see what's going on that's making it so bad. Our currency exchange is gone. The next thing that I would not be surprised at all is that Fairway is gone. They have buckets all over the place when it rains.
Believe
You
it or
can
not-
kill yourself.
Believe it or not, Fairway is gone anyway. But now, I just want you to tell everybody, how long you been out here, Judy? How many years?
50-something. We moved out here in
Okay.
1964.
Okay, see, so she stayed. So what I'm trying to say is this, for her to know all that, that means she's been involved for a long time, coming up here for a long time, asking questions for, because she's knowledgeable of what's going on. The answer to your biggest question is why can't we get, and I'm sure people want to know why we cannot attract the big box or any box, small box, little box, tin cup or whatever. The reason why you can't do that, because when you make that turn and go east off of 394, and I'm not talking about right now, they're fixing the street so you can make a double turn back onto 394 or
Take the sidewalk to nowhere.
well, or from 394 back to Sauk Trail, people coming in. But the reason why you don't get the people to come in, the number one reason is visibility. If I drive down and stop, if I just stop at Sauk Trail and look over, and I may be going to Beecher, I may be going to Stager, I may go over to Creek, but I just stop and look over and see that, or I come off that bridge. After I leave Lincoln Highway and come off that bridge and come down and look to the left side, or I pass and look to the right side, you see that? Be like, wow, I just entered Fort Heights. No, you didn't, you're in Sauk Village. You can't see Fort Heights from the expressway. But you're in the Sauk Village, but see, everybody's looking at that. That's what you have to change. You have to change that perception. When you sell your house and you try to get some money from your house, you're going to fix it up. You're going to paint where the water came in. You're going to fix over here where the crack was. You're going to throw a picture there where I got nailed. You're going to fix your house up. We have to do that to get anybody. I'm not even talking about big box. I'm talking about anything. We have to repair that. Change that perception. You have to change that.
We're not doing that.
That map. Well, you know why we're not doing it?
I know exactly.
I know why we're not doing it, because we don't have anything in place to do it. That's why we're not doing it. We're so worried about writing checks to people that have no need. I mean, you make it $750,000 off of me every year. That's a taxpayer's money. And what are you producing? What are you giving me back? I mean, really, what are you doing? We got all these businesses out here. We do have industrial park. They do pay some money. But even even them, they probably hire with all the industrial parks that we have out here, probably hire a couple hundred people every day. Where are they gonna eat at? Where are they gonna go eat? You gotta find McDonald's. Nothing on 394 says we got a McDonald's. Nothing on 394 that states we have a McDonald's. So that comes to what you need to talk to the people in charge to put that blue board up there and get those marquees on that. When you come off of Lincoln Highway, and you should have a marquee like you do when you come up to Lincoln Highway, and shows that one gas station. I don't know how this man did it, but he's got that one gas station. Say you come off this exit and go there, you go to Phillips 76 or 66 or whatever it is. There's nothing show that we have a Dunkin' Donuts, Advanced Auto, McDonald's, or even none of the businesses. They look at that, they don't have nothing there. And you have businesses, but you got to go through the neighborhood to get to it, about 3/4 of a mile east. Then you open up, I didn't know Walgreens was here. Only way you can find Walgreens, somebody told you it was over there now, that's how you know. Those are simple. You ask what the simple things are, those are the simple things that we can do. Advertise for the businesses. And yes, the businesses are pissed because it's not happening.
Why isn't it happening?
I'm gonna leave that one alone. I just got to saying who's in charge of that.
Yeah, but
Then that's why it's not happening.
you're implying like...
I'm not implying. I'm telling you that's okay, but that's why it's not happening. But it should be.
It's not...
But that's now you see why the businesses are leaving. There's no help in the village. There's nothing there that says, okay, we're going to go out there, we're going to talk to IDOT, Illinois Department of Transportation, and put a good sign, put the informational sign that shows if you turn left here and go down or whatever. Everyone knows what I'm talking about when you're on the expressway, and you see that. It should be something here. Yes, sir.
A vast majority of these homes that you're talking about, referring to, is owned by banks or repos.
Oh, we got a lot of. Yes.
Or they're owned by landlords.
Yes.
Why can't the village go after them?
You have to change the legislation, and you're right, put things into place. Those are the things that we should be worried about, not by who a check wrote, how much we're paying, because we shouldn't have to worry about that. Those things should be second nature. But yes, you call attention to it when I see somebody pay $105,000 and have no input in it, yes, that causes a lot of concern. I want to know why, where, and how you were able to do that, and nobody at that table knew about it. Yes. So yes, yeah, you're right. We should be worried about that. We should be worried about trying to put Sauk Village back on the map intelligently. Did everyone see where we ranked that?
Yeah.
69.
It is not the top 10. Okay? So don't think we're 69 of the top worst, 150. Yes, Mr. Clark.
2 questions. Do we not have a Chamber of Commerce anymore?
When I was, no.
No, okay.
No.
Okay, then the mayor should be addressed about that since he's in charge of...
Yes.
Those
are the questions that should be asked about. I mean, we can go back and forth about who did what, and we are. You didn't put these people in place to sit there and argue all day long about stuff that should be taken care of. You put them in place to move it a little bit. We're not be able to do a lot, but just a little bit. And Dunkin' Donuts reopening is not a little bit moving forward.
No, okay. The reason I ask that is one of the things that Chamber usually does, beside meet, and is to promote themselves. Okay? Maybe put a totem pole of we got this, we got that.
Or a flag or a banner or
Yes.
something. Yes.
But my other question was back to what I felt was the topic of tonight, was the big deal about the checks being written. How many checks were there, and were any of them payrolls? Now, I heard there was one for Fairman. Was this something that was in the budget that normally is paid at a certain time? and he couldn't wait, or,
Okay, what happened was payroll was it's not an immediate check, it was a automatic pay, we paid payroll.
so it was supposed to.
It was part of accounts payable. That was the only real thing, that and the compensation, which would be their health and welfare. Those two things go hand in hand, and that was in there to be paid.
Were there more?
The other checks were, like you said, for other things, media checks they felt they needed to be paid. I'm not questioning the media checks. I'm questioning, well, I am questioning because there's so many, but I'm questioning that you did not get a consensus, a vote, hey guys, I'm paying this from any trustee.
But what were they for? Is what I'm
Oh, I didn't bring them out with me, but there was some for,
I mean, were there 20?
it was 16.
16, quite a few.
Yes, it is.
Did we need $1,700 worth of mops?
Well, mop heads is a $1,700 is not mops. Mop heads is a vendor that we do business with, and obviously they must not have gotten paid. And it has happened before where they were 2 months behind, but there was no explanation. There's nobody saying anything. We don't know anything that goes on because we don't need to know. So, but no, you're right. We should, I mean, that's why I took, and the other trustees took a very, very serious stand on that because you circumvented your board. And that's what happened. Now, I do have, okay, go ahead.
Sorry about that. When you were on economic development, did you ever bring up the fact of like putting signs up on 384 saying we have a Walgreens, we have a Fairway, when you were in economic development, which you spent close to 4 years on, I guess it was?
No.
Okay, did I bring up the fact that we needed to have signs?
Well, you brought
Did
it
I bring up the
up.
fact that we should put the things you're talking about? Yes, I did.
And you were on economic development?
Yes, I was.
And nothing ever happened about it?
No, it didn't.
Why was that?
I was on economic development, I'm not the mayor.
You were economic
I
development?
was economic development, I'm not the mayor. The mayor has his final say, so to present it. I presented it to the board.
Who was the mayor at that time when you were economic
Lewis
development?
Towers.
Oh, okay, I was kind of curious as to why it wasn't taken care of.
But before Lewis Towers, it was Roger Peckham. It wasn't taken care of then. Before Roger Peckham was Mark Collins. It wasn't taken care of then. Before Mark Collins, it was Ed Hazel. It wasn't taken care of then. So, you know, this is not that, but all these different things, it wasn't taken care of back at those times. Don't just stop it when I became trustee. It wasn't done before that. Yes, I brought it up. Yes, we talked about it. But it didn't happen.
Well, you need to bring it up again, bring it up where we know what's going on.
Okay, I just want, before, could you do me a favor? Could you give the, no, I'm not talking, could you give the mic to this young man right here? Go ahead.
I want to know, one on Mr. Shanks, who just said, why were you not, how come you didn't take care of it when you were on economic development in 2008?
2000, I was in economic development, I'm sorry, 2009 to 2013, yeah.
Okay. Who was on economic development when Roger Peckham was there?
Roger Peckham.
Who was on economic development before Roger Peckham?
All the mayors were on economic development. Before Roger Peckham was,
Trustee on economic development during Roger.
that's what I said, before Roger was Mark Collins. Before Mark Collins was Ed Hazel.
I know the mayor's.
That's who was on economic development.
Which trustee?
None. Always the mayor.
And somehow they gave it to you, and it was going good, because we had a lot of.
But that was the
But now the
reason.
mayor comes in and takes it away.
Yes, he does.
And then you want something else, and they took that away from you, and all that shit is falling apart.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes.
You need to remove the mayor.
You don't remember David Hammond being on economic?
And David Hanks was on,
Sure he was.
what do you call it? It wasn't economic development. I don't know why he continues to say that he was on economic development. If he wants to come up with that, fine. But it wasn't called economic development. He was there to help start a as you called it, Chamber of Commerce, and it never happened. They tried to get something going. Then they gave David housing. Back then, we only had maybe 200 houses. Okay, young man, I want to bring this young man, because he's been sitting here so patiently. He came to basically solicit, but that's what they do, and there's nothing wrong with that. We should support our own. He's a member of a junior ROTC out of Bloom. What year are you at? Sophomore, Bloom Trail High School. And he took a lot for it. Just think about it. When you guys have to stand up here, stand up wherever to try to talk, please give him a warm welcome. He has something to bring to you guys. Stay tuned.
Hello. I'm Andrew Houston, and I attend Bloom Trail High School. I'm currently a sophomore, and I live in Sauk. Currently, right now, we are raising money through our annual cookie dough fundraiser. It is 40 pre-shaped cut cookies that you are able to put in your freezer for 6 months. It is only the low price of $16, and I would like to know, would you guys like to support me and buy a box of cookie dough from me?
Yes. I would love to buy it. Do you have popcorn or just a cookie dough?
Just cookie dough.
Okay, I asked a question. This is not the mayor.
Bloom Trail also accepts cash and checks. Checks.
And checks.
Okay, little spiky things in red color.
Do you have a question for him, Mary?
What are
Okay.
you raising the money for?
Right now, we are raising the money for our trips to different military bases, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, and also buses to our next drill meet. Our next drill meet is right now on Halloween, which is October 31st, to Zion Benton. Zion Benton.
When do you need the money back?
Money is due October 22nd, but this is the last day that money is able to, that cookie doughs.
Got your checkbook?
Check.
Can we make a
Yeah.
When we go get the cookies?
The cookies will be delivered November 19th.
Okay, okay. And how
This
do
is
you
a
do it?
very good organization. They've been in various competitions. My grandson who's in the Navy now, he was in it for, I think, 3 years. And we went to his competitions, and the kids, boys and girls, learn a lot of respect, self-esteem. They have to dress properly and address and have good communication with their leaders, and it's a very good organization.
Now, I want to, and like you said, my grandson also was in our junior ROTC. He looked like, even his head looked like it was just starched out. But anyway, I just want to tell Mom, if your son is really into that, do you have any other community involvement that you do?
Lately, I've been going to Northwestern and usually asking tickets, or I work as security in the stands.
Okay.
I just got done, but 2 weeks ago, we did adopt a highway on Lincoln Highway, and we cleaned up trash on the side of the road.
Okay. That's great. Mom, so you know, I don't know if you ever heard of this before, but I'm gonna tell you now. When you have a chance, do you know where Congressman Kelly's office is located? Okay, it's located where Holiday Inn, that's on Cicero. You know where Holiday Inn is? That on Cicero? In Madison. In Madison, the Holiday Inn. She's on the 4th floor. Take your son up there and tell him you would like to have her to petition him to get into one of the academies. That's how you get in through your congressman. That's how you get in. You cannot go in and apply. They have to recommend you into Annapolis, West Point, and I shouldn't be saying that I have a trustee here who is a lieutenant colonel. When you get through, bend his ear. So, but then, so that you know, that's how they get recommended. She recommends about 10 every year. You and her, you live out here in the village, right? Okay, so you're in her district. Why not put your son up there and show what he does? His grades and everything, and then, because she goes through maybe 100, but why can't your son be 1 in 100? To at least be recommended, and to show that he's trying to do this. That's what they did, because I think she recommended 1 person from Sauk Village last year. So just a heads up.
And that's grade oriented as well?
It's all around. Grades. You got 2 years. Grades, involvement in the community. He's already involved in the school.
He's done more than 20 hours of community service in just this year alone. He's in 80 classes and he's
Okay. See, that's what, and make up his resume. Have something in hand to her. So she just come and say, hey, how you doing? And let him do the talking. Let him present himself. They're impressed. The reason why I'm saying now, so she got 2 years to keep doing. In other words, I'm trying to say is he's not a senior yet, but she got 2 years to track him. Don't think she won't. Okay? Okay, then now you can go and anyone want cookies? You want to put it at the back table? Okay. Okay. Anybody? Who's next? Oh,
I didn't say anything last night, I probably should have. But I need you, I think I told you about it. Excuse me. I like to think about it. Anyway. Stop. I talked to you about it about maybe 2 weeks ago. I talked to the police chief about it. But I think between you and the chief, maybe y'all get together and talk to Kevin Weller about fixing the street light on 224th.
224th and what?
It's been 2 months now.
2 months?
Since that light is out. 224th Street in Brookwood, right on?
Oh, 224th in Brookwood.
Yeah. Yeah. Got the street pole up, the light up. But ain't nobody changed the pole.
You have 3 minutes to talk.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll call Kevin tomorrow. And let him sign up, because what it probably is maybe a breaker. I'm not expecting but I will call Kevin tomorrow.
I'm kind of wondering now, they waiting for something bad to happen on this.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm saying if it's a breaker or if it's a part that has to be done, or if it's something that ComEd has to do, I'll let you know. Because if ComEd has to do it, then ComEd has to do it. We can't do it.
The corner is 22nd and Landis, right next to those two houses that are trashed. Their yards are about 4 feet high.
The who?
There's
the yard?
street lights.
Oh, the lights out too there?
Oh, it flashes on and then it'll go off. But
Okay.
it's in a very bad place for that light.
Okay, I'll bring that to his attention. Is there anybody else? Because I wanted to say something about the public works. And then after that, I have a couple of announcements.
Can I say something?
I'm not closing. I just want to say something right quick about public works.
I'll fix you like that. You're right.
I was placed in charge as committee member for public works, and was told that we had a liaison, which was Kevin Weller, which made sense. He was the public works director, and that my job was to try to enhance his department. Well, when I asked Kevin to check some things out for me, and I asked him to let me know about some things and what's going on. He was told not to, and this is something that I hold near and dear. If you ask me to do something, but then you tell the person I'm working with not to give me information, I have a problem with that. And he was told not to give me information. However, the mayor put on Kevin Weller's report on his blog as if to say, and it was entitled Public Works, as if to say he's taking charge of Public Works. So just wanted to let you know that my job or my position that I was given or appointed to as far as being Public Works Committee along with Trustee Jones, our legs are cut off from under us. Everything that we try to do, which is, I know it's political, but it's a shame because guess who suffers? The people. So I wanted to let you know now, you hear from me, that I'm not going to keep going back and forth. We're going to sit down with the mayor and ask him. Me and the trustee are going to ask him, are you going to intervene? And we don't need to do this. I'm not going to waste my time. I can be out there in the street doing other things than to go behind someone, and then when time comes, you cut my legs out. So I just wanted to let everybody know that. You hear here first. Anything else you may hear is speculation, but this is where it is, and I would think that if you give me a committee that you would step back and allow me to do my job as a committee chairman. Now, I do have a couple of announcements. One, tomorrow, I have pamphlets up here. Tomorrow, we're putting on, the Sauk Village Housing Committee is putting on a home buyers workshop. Now, I know some of you people here have your homes and things like that, but if you don't own your home and you're renting, it behooves you to come out. It's going to be a presentation. You're going to have a, what do you call it, point? That's having to get old. PowerPoint presentation. There'll be people here to answer your questions. Some of the things that they're going to be talking about is down payments where you can get up to $7,500. I understand now, maybe more than that. So come out and ask questions. There'll be people here to do that. Have your neighbors, those that you know that are renting or first-time home buyers or whatever, have them come out. And I understand that it's not just the first time. If you haven't bought a home in X amount of years, you can still, I think it's after 3 years, you can still be considered a first-time home buyer. So come out. Pardon me?
Who's doing this? What committee?
Sauk Village Housing Committee.
Isn't that considered steering?
We bring the people, how am I stick? You mean stick? No, I'm saying, how can you steer? You bringing information.
That's not what the housing committee is in line for. Read the bylaws on what the housing committee is for. They only advise and consent the board.
Okay.
You start talking about the housing committee.
It's the difference between commission and committee. The committee is bringing information back to the people. They're not steering. I'm not telling you to go buy from here. I'm trying to let you know where you can get money through the government. You think a bank is doing this? This is the government that's backing this. So, but one is a commission. A committee, huh? I don't know all the members of the commission. I'm not on the commission. I'm on the committee. I'm on the committee. I'm not on the commission. Commission has those yellow cards. I don't have a yellow card. Okay, so but this is a informative pamphlet for those that wish to buy homes. We need to get people to buy these homes out here. This is a good thing. Well, the buy homes period. Now, I just want to let you know that it will not only be attended by Sauk Village residents. So it behooves you to get out here. It's going to be attended. We put this out to 8 different communities. We gave 8 different community village clerks this pamphlet to pass out to their villages. So it's going to be people out here that want to know how I get $7,500 down. I have pamphlets right there. All you have to do is come up after the meeting's over with and get some and you know, give them out. They've been out in the stores, but I'm just letting you know that's happening tomorrow. Also, there was a gentleman that came right before this meeting. He found out, obviously, it must be something that's going on that people are finding out about the town hall meeting. But this young man was from Fort Heights. And Fort Heights has a community service organization. And they came out to let us know that they have different services in Fort Heights. Now let me explain something to you about Fort Heights and why their services and everything. Fort Heights will get every single grant dollar there is in the United States. You ever hear what I said? Fort Heights will get every single grant dollar that's applicable to their town in the United States. You may ask, why does Fort Heights get all that money? Fort Heights is at the top of that list that I asked about the village. We're at 60-something, they're number 1. Of per capita in the United States, lowest. Lowest per capita. I think their per capita is around $3,000. That's per household income. So therefore they qualify. That's why they got Lake Michigan Water. It's because they qualify for the grant that Jesse didn't have to, all he had to do is show that they don't have any money, the government paid for it. Now they owe Chicago Heights close to $6 million, but Chicago Heights can't come along. But all the infrastructure and everything that was put in, that we're talking about, probably cost us about $10 million. The government wrote that off of them. Why? Because they qualified for those grants. So that's why they have all these programs. Why should we not find out about them? I have this literature that's here. You can look at it. If you need to make copies, let me know. I'll make some copies as soon as the meeting is over with. But they have a lot of organizations and community service organizations that come through Fort Heights. They come through there and and people get qualified. You don't have to live in Fort Heights to get qualified for them. If you need a certain income or you have a certain need, it's there. So I'm gonna reach out to this young man. We're gonna have these things put on with our community development, which will be our Parks and Recs. We're gonna, you know, have Parks and Recs. That's our community development. That's who sees the people most. It should be the Parks and Recs, because we deal with children there. We have a center over there. So all these things here doesn't have to necessarily have to go through other people that are just going to give it to certain people. It needs to go through also. That's another thing that we're going to, that I'm going to, like I said tonight, pass out. Yes, this is announcement time now. This is an announcement? Okay. Okay. I think I know what you're getting ready to do. I was going to ask you to do that. Where's the pamphlet? You made 1,000 though. Go ahead, Ms. Jones.
Hello, everyone. I just want to let everybody know that we're having
Excuse me. You ain't special.
I am, right. My husband told me that every day. Smile pretty.
I want to let everybody know that Trunk or Treat is going to be Saturday, October 31st from 1 to 4. And there will be a costume parade beginning at 1 p.m. The parade will walk from Rickover Junior High to the community center. There will be prizes for the best costume for the kids and the pets. At the community center, the kids can trunk or treat around the parking lot. Pets are invited to participate in the parade and are welcome at the community center. All invited and welcome to attend. And if you have any questions, feel free to call Trustee Trustee Jones. Sorry.
Okay. You got to deal with that one. There's one more announcement that I failed to talk about. And first of all, how many veterans are in the audience? Come on. How many veterans are in the audience? 1, 2, that's it? Wow. No, I'm not a veteran. I just asked how many veterans. Okay. How many people know of anyone in their family that was a veteran?
That's cool.
Okay. That's a lot more. On 11/11 at 11 o'clock here at the Village Hall, I don't know how many people came to last year's celebration. We will have another celebration of the veterans. Quite naturally, it's Veterans Day. We made it simple. 11/11/2011. I'm sorry, 11 o'clock. We will have, after the celebration, we need people to RSVP. I've already got a few people to RSVP. As a matter of fact, the one that raised their hands already RSVP. So I need to get a head count because we're going to have a little luncheon for them after the presentation here on November 11th. So if you know of anyone, give them my number. Preferably, I would like them to be a family member of someone in the village. So at least I have a link to that. Not just somebody you know that lives somewhere else and they're coming out. If they're a family member, we will go along with that too. So that's something that we're going to try to do. And it's going to be put on collaboratively in conjunction with, you'll see. I'll put it that way. I'm not going to spill the beans. When time comes, you'll see who's going to be up here to talk about it. So it's not just myself, it's not just one other person, there's going to be a few people that's going to get involved in this. So I hope they pass the word out. We're getting ready to get the flyers, they're going to be put out pretty soon. We didn't want to do them too soon because we had too many other things going on. So that's will happen.
Here, inside?
Yes, ma'am, right here, like it was. Were you here last year? Okay, because it was here last year, and we didn't have a reception at the end. But we had everything on the inside. So there's a difference between veterans and memorial service. The memorial service is outside at the memorial. I hope the veterans understand that the veterans are folks that live. It's not for people that are not here. Yes, ma'am.
Where will the luncheon be held?
Place to be determined.
Thank you very much.
Right. I'm not going to give that out either. If you show up as a veteran, then we will have a luncheon for you. I don't want you to come and say, oh, it's going to be, you'll be able to eat the food? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm waiting till you finish. Are you through with the announcement?
She needs a mic. Right. Thank you, Mr. Howard. Appreciate it. No, I'm always open. I just wanted to get the announcements out the way. I'm always open.
Okay, are you through with the announcement?
Whatever you would like to bring up.
Okay, my name is Annalyn Powell Dickens, and we live in Deer Creek. I know this is association question, but as you was a member from Deer Creek, also, I have a question for you. When putting up a shed, and do you know about the bylaw?
Put up
A shed on my property. What is the bylaw concerning putting up a shed on your property? A kit.
Okay, I mean, this kid is a shed or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, I remember I had one put up. And I had to go through the homeowner association. I had to submit them what it is I was going to do. And then they have to sign off on it, and then I had to come to the village. That's when I got mine done.
Okay, but I have a kit that I'm putting up. So
Okay.
the question that maybe I'm not making myself clear. What I'm asking, does that shed have to have the same siding as my house and the roof, according to our bylaw for the Deer Creek resident?
Now that much I don't know. I did that because that's what I wanted mine to look like, my house. Is there that in writing? I don't know. It's been so long, ma'am, that I've looked at the bylaws. I don't know. If I tell you one thing, I may be wrong because it's been a while since I had to go to the Deer Creek, or, go to the homeowners and find out, have something done. It's been a long time, so. But I've done that. I did that. I made it look just like the house, but that was me. But I'm not saying that that's in the bylaws. Matter of fact, I don't know what my bylaws are, but, you know, yes, ma'am.
I was just gonna say, I think, first of all, it can't be seen from the street. It has to be a certain spot. Like, it's, because I remember when we were gonna put one, and the committee had to come out, the officers had to come out and look at it. Like, it's not supposed to, like, you're not supposed to be seen, it's not supposed to be seen.
From the street.
And it's supposed to be a certain size, the size I can't.
Right, the size, because the size was 10 by 10.
10 by 10.
That's it. I wanted bigger, and I kind of got a little upset. I wanted it big enough to put a rider more in it, and it wasn't big enough to put a rider in. That's what I really built it for. So I had to go get a smaller rider. Okay, does anyone else have any other questions?
A statement?
You said it too, besides there.
Yeah, why not?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burgess, I've been knowing you for quite a while. Our families are close. We've had our differences over the last 8 years. You know, we've been 10 years in politics that you know, because you were with Parks and Recs when I met you. You know, and you were doing an excellent job with diversity all around. Did I put that quite well?
In your question, I just want to know what you get ready to say. Because you know there's always a segment.
Yeah, it's a question.
Okay.
We've been on different sides at different times.
Okay.
We ran with Robert Chavez and the mayor now, David Hanks. I didn't agree with that.
Me neither,
Understand?
Okay, but your question.
My question is, you've come a long way from where you were. You are the ideal person now that I've been looking for. And this town hall meeting sets a fine example compared to what we see on Tuesday night.
They're trying to stagnate the town hall meeting. That's, you know, but that lets me know that I must be doing something right.
You are. My question is, are you going to stand strong for the next year and a half?
Stand strong as far as.
Well, I mean, they're shooting big guns at you.
That's okay. I'm not worried about, I mean, as long as you don't put your hand on me, I don't care. I mean, you know, who am I to, that's what you, I've said it many times, that's a big boy seat. If you can't sit in that seat, then you got to get up, but you have to be able to field the questions and talk about the issues that may not be popular. I may not be a popular person, you're not going to stop me because the person that talks about me, not the one that put me in that office. The one that put me in office are the ones that think that I'm doing a decent job or whatever. And if they don't, and they feel, and I'm like this, if I feel, they feel that I'm not doing a decent job, they're going to let me know. I got friends out here right now who will take this person, you're not doing it. Okay. But I will listen. I'm not that type of person. And I carry myself around people that are positive. You have to stay positive. Life is too short for you to sit up here and cry over all this stuff. Either it is, but the people have to get involved, and that's what I want. Okay, Mary.
Are you going to continue to have your town hall meetings?
Yes, I will continue my town hall meetings. If I have to have them outside, but it's not going to happen. But I'm going to continue my town, because the people need to know, stand for, and get involved. Yes, Ms. Clark.
Are you going to have the regular holidays?
Oh, we're going to, okay. I don't want to tell anybody, but next meeting, next month, November, will be our last one this year. Christmas is Christmas. You know, I respect that. Get your holiday going. Get your decorations up. Enjoy the season. Have fun. Come back with some more questions. And I want to tell everybody right now, I am not in a campaign mode. Please, don't ask me why you run it. I'm trying to run this village where it should be and hold people accountable for our dollar that we spend.
Yep.
That's what this is all about. This is your money. And if you don't have anybody there to do that, then shame on the people. Shame on us as residents if you don't have somebody out there doing that. Because once it's gone, it's gone. Yes, sir, Joe.
I've got some very bad news. The Chicago
Uh-oh.
are down 6-1.
See, He brought that up. You Cub fans? I didn't say that. I'm not even on my phone. I don't even know anything about it. But I'd like to say this in closing. I really appreciate you guys coming out, but we need more people to come out to ask these questions. More people to come out to talk about the issues among yourselves. You don't get this chance to do that at any other meeting. Come out and find out what's going on and ask the questions. If I don't have the answer, I'll get it to you. But don't be afraid. All right, they won't talk to me. They won't get involved with me. This is your community. Everybody that's in here, that's in this building, including this building, is paid for by your tax dollars. Your tax dollars pay for the rug, pay for it. So how's somebody gonna shut you out and tell you that you can't come in? This is your money. So if they telling you they don't want you, or they don't want this meeting or this town hall meeting to happen, then what's the reason? Why? Why? We used to have the mayor come in. He doesn't come in anymore. That's up to him. Oh. Yeah, but that could be, but why should you be scared of a person that you put in office? I mean, you put them in, somebody voted them in there, but you don't, the reason why you don't put a person in office to do you a favor, you put a person in office to move this building so your house can become worth more money, so your town can have less crime, to do something about that. So that you can bring businesses out here. That's why you put a person in there. Anything else is secondary. Because the bills are going to be there. But you want somebody in that's going to be at least accountable to you as a taxpayer or as a resident for that. Yes, sir.
But if you say something he doesn't like, he sticks the lawyer.
That's what he tries to. But as there's anything else, if I could do like that, and you know what I mean, and that's what that is, intimidation. I mean, come on, you guys, you're grown, you're homeowners, your family, you're adults, some I'm a grandparent. I'm not going, this is my money. Who can I better, I want to watch my dollar. Because there's a lot of it that's going in there. So I want to make sure that you're at least trying to better this community.
He's a dictator and he uses that word loosely, very loosely when he's here.
Right.
Yeah, so you know.
That's why I need you to come out. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is Charles Akins. I live in
Deer Creek.
I moved on here 1 year ago, and I like Sauk Village. And from what I've been listening to, people in the office and all of that stuff, I think we need to come out and vote. Okay? Because sometimes you are the majority, but then the minority gets in. But we don't vote. We got to come out and vote. Come to these meetings, and say what we got to say. I've listened to you. You are very encouraging, and I think you make a good man.
Like I said, we're not here for that high. I appreciate the compliment. I appreciate the compliment, sir.
He said it right.
I know this gentleman, quite actually I do, and he is a sincere person, and he was asked that question, which all of us should be asked that question. Why did you move out here? If you see what's out here now, would you move back? Okay then, so therefore you're here, then you have to change it. You have to change it. If you're stuck with it, just like anything else, you have a car, you can't afford to buy a new one, fix the one you got. Fix it up. Fix it up. That's what you do. By all those, Mr. Harvey. We have and I just wanted to say we have a few people here from Deer Creek. I appreciate it. I've been trying to preach it for a while. There's another gentleman sitting way in the back. He's in charge of our neighborhood watch. He's the one that's in charge of our neighborhood watch, and he's sitting in the back over at Deer Creek. So, and just want to let everybody know that we do come out. It's not that I'm preaching. This is your dollar. And if you're not cognizant about it, then you better be sure that other people are, because they got your money.
When is the next association meeting?
The next association meeting, I don't know. I thought about you talking about homo association, right? They just had one last month. I don't think I have one. I think the next one will be in February or March. But don't worry, we gonna talk, knock on your door and let you know. The president right across the street from you.
But you know, we gotta be, whatever we're doing, we gotta be consistent. You know, we can't have a meeting this month.
Yeah, and you're right, you're right. You're right, you have to be consistent, you have to stay on, because you gotta stay on top of things. And if you let things, that's why I said, I'm gonna have a town hall meeting next month, and I'm just gonna be off for a month, or maybe two, and then come back in February. But I want to pack this place. I'm hoping that now people are tired, they're fed up, and they wanna have something to say. Yes, Ms. Dalvin, that's another lady that started out, she came out about 6, 7 months ago, she said, oh, I didn't know it was like this, this is what it's about. Yes, ma'am.
I was saying, is it every third Wednesday?
Every third Wednesday. No matter you don't sit up on the board, every third Wednesday of the month at 7 o'clock right here. Bring your, now next meeting I'm gonna have, some special, not special guests, but some special things that we're gonna do. I don't know if anybody remember when we had the kids out here. We had the kids, they presented, they did a little play. One time we had, the acting police chief, she came out and gave a few things. Then we had some other people out here that gave some talks and things. We're gonna split it up, but mainly I want you to come out and interact with your residents. You need to talk. You don't have to only. Everybody has problems, but together, divided we will fall, but together we can stand. We can make things happen. We have to do it together. And one thing I just want to say, this is what I like, it's diversified. It is diversified. That's the way it should be. That's how it was when I moved out here, and that's how it will be. We don't need people on this side or that side. I believe in this. We're all in this together, because believe me, if I get cut, it's going to be red. You get cut, it's going to be red. There's nobody better than no one. Nobody I know of came back. I heard, believe in it, but nobody I know, so therefore everybody's infallible. On that note, I'd like to say good night to everyone. Thanks for coming out. And go Cubs. Cubs got your hand.